I have been creating content on YouTube for years, and I am not a videographer. I am not a professional editor. I'm just a creative who loves creating, and YouTube just seems to be one of my most favorite platforms to create for. No matter how long I'm gone from YouTube, somehow I always end up right back here creating videos again. And let me tell you something, editing has literally been the bane of my existence for many years. If you watched my Vlogmas episode yesterday, I do share a little bit behind the scenes of me editing. And I have been enjoying editing so much more now than I ever have. So if you're someone who maybe you're considering starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you already have a YouTube channel, or you've had a YouTube channel in the past, and editing has been a thing that's been super daunting for you, in today's video, I'm going to share a little bit about how I'm learning to love editing as a non-editor. So if you tuned into yesterday's video that I made for Vlogmas day 3, it was kind of like a fly on the wall experience. It was actually my first time shooting those different kind of B-roll clips from different angles, and that was actually way more fun than I thought it was going to be. It was definitely a lot more time consuming than I thought it was going to be, but at the end of the day, I was really happy with the content that I was able to produce because of that extra time and just allowing myself to implement these ideas. Because let's face it, talking head videos are the easiest videos to make. And I really do enjoy talking head videos, but it's nice to have a video where you can feel like you're in a story and you're able to see the different angles and feel like you're there and you're present with the creator as they're creating. So that was the vibe that I was trying to create, and I am so happy that I decided to do that. I have been on YouTube on and off for many years. I believe my very first YouTube video I posted was like in 2007. Yeah. So it's been a very long time. When it comes to content, your early content is never going to be your greatest content. Matter of fact, I've come back to YouTube so many times, and every time that I'm starting over on YouTube, regardless if that is picking up where I left off on an existing channel or creating a brand new channel, the idea is that, okay, I have all these years of creating content experience. My content is going to be amazing. But honestly, if you're someone that's always growing and propelling yourself to move forward and to do better and to grow, no matter how many times you start over, the content that's at the beginning is more than likely always going to feel a little bit cringe to you or a little embarrassing, because as humans, we get better over time. So you just got to do the thing. You just got to do the thing. So if you've been wondering if you need certain things to do the thing, I'm telling you, you do not. You just need to do the thing. And I can truly say this from experience because I have created multiple different channels over the years. And I did have one main channel that I always kind of kept going back to after creating other side channels. So I've experimented with different niches. I've experimented a lot on YouTube. And the truth of the matter is, no matter how many different channels you create, it's really just about you wanting to express and to share yourself, your story in some way. And you creating a new channel is not necessarily going to change the way you perform on YouTube in the sense of the type of content that you create. It's really just changing in the sense of niches, which a lot of people do, but that's something I'll get into another time. Matter of fact, I think I talked about this in Vlogmas last year. I did a couple videos when I talked about starting a YouTube channel, getting onto YouTube, niching, all that good stuff. I have linked my Vlogmas 2024 playlist in the description box below, so if you want to check that out, feel free. Creating multiple different channels to try to find yourself can definitely be helpful. It works for some people if they decide to switch their niche and stay consistent with only one type of niche. It really depends on what your end goal is at the end of the day. But ultimately, thinking that you are going to have a perfect video the first time you post is very, very unlikely. When you look back at your earlier content, no matter how cringe it might feel, the truth is that it's not about the cringiness, it's about the growth. It's about being able to create content where you can look back and say, wow, I've gotten better over time. And that was me in yesterday's Vlogmas when I was doing my little edits and I saw the growth, especially since I thought that the video before, Vlogmas Day 2's video, was not gonna turn out good. Well, listen, when I ran it back in the editing process, I was very pleased. Very, very pleased. If you are considering this content journey, or maybe you have already been on this content journey and you're feeling kind of stuck, you're feeling plateaued, you're feeling like you kind of want to give up, it's okay to reinvent yourself. It's okay to start over. Just remember, it's all about a journey, and reinvention is part of that journey. So give yourself that time, give yourself that grace, give yourself that space to be able to shift, to change, and to try new things, because that's what life's all about, isn't it? There are a lot of different things I can say about why YouTube is great from a lot of different perspectives, but we trying to keep this video nice, short, and sweet. Okay, so one of the things about YouTube is that YouTube is really great for evergreen content. And what do I mean by evergreen content? Basically, if you post a video today, it may not pop today, but that same video might become relevant in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Your content on YouTube is not going to expire. Once you post and upload a video, that video is going to stay there, and people can search for that video at any given time. Matter of fact, this is just clicking for me because I didn't realize this until this moment. So on my old channel, I believe I did a review. I had gotten some free products from Born Pretty, I believe is what the brand was. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Anyways, I got some free products. I did a little review, and I was not on YouTube for years. For years, I log onto my YouTube and I see that that video got a ton of views. And I'm like, what the heck did I do in this video for the video to get so much views? But the joke is, it wasn't what I did. Apparently what was happening is that Born Pretty were promoting themselves as a brand and becoming more and more popular. Matter of fact, I bought some Born Pretty products the other day and I'm like, yo, I remember when they sent me free products for me to do content for them as an influencer before influencing was even a thing. And turn around that Born Pretty was doing their thing, marketing, promoting their brand. And because I did a video talking about Born Pretty products and reviewing the products, even though I wasn't on YouTube, my video took off. Okay, so that is that evergreen content. It's the shelf life of a YouTube video. If you put a YouTube video up and you do not private it, you do not take it down, that video has the potential to be seen and to be found by anybody, which is pretty neat. Like a lot of the other platforms, example Instagram, which I had a love for Instagram for a very long time. I still trying to get back into Instagram. It's a completely different platform than it was, but that is a different story for another day. We talking about YouTube right now, but YouTube is beautiful because your video lasts forever. Your video literally has forever shelf life. where a lot of these other platforms, your video only has a shelf life of like 24 to 48 hours, and that's it. Mind you, now Instagram is trying to implement SEO, and I've actually seen some improvements through a brand that I actually work with, where I do a lot of their content. And through the tweaks that I've done in their SEO on their captions, people are actually finding them on Google, which is like a major win. But again, we're talking about YouTube today. That is a story for another day. If you are interested in IG content type stuff or any type of platforms type stuff outside of YouTube, or even if you do enjoy YouTube content, y'all gotta let me know. Drop it in the comments. Let me know so I'll know to create more content like that. Another thing I love about YouTube is really the ability to have that creative freedom with your content. So as I said, your content is evergreen. It stays there forever unless you take it down, or of course, unless it gets flagged for whatever reason. Now, the thing too about the creative freedom aspect is a lot of people will tell you that you need to have a niche and all of that stuff. Again, I talk about this in Vlogmas last year. If you want me to talk more about this year or in another video, definitely drop it in the comments. But you can change your style of editing. You can change the topics you talk about, and you can contain it all on one channel, which is really, really beautiful. And the way the YouTube algorithm works, it's meant to connect you with individuals that are going to be interested in your type of content. And like I said, your YouTube video might not pop today. It might pop way, way later. It's really a space for you to cultivate your creativity and to show up every day, not because of views, but show up every day because it's something that you enjoy doing. And of course, life's. I am the queen of understanding that life be lifing. Okay, as I said, my YouTube journey has not been linear by any means, but here I am again. Yes, again. So I feel like I'm just always going to keep showing up on YouTube. So I'm really trying to get it in a certain type of way that I can be more consistent with it. But life's. YouTube is great, and I see myself forever always coming back to YouTube. Now let's talk about the editing evolution. Okay, so editing software I started with when I first started doing YouTube, I believe, and just tech, I guess just tech in general. When I first started doing YouTube, I used my webcam. It was terrible. It was laggy. I did end up getting a new webcam and using that for my content. And I mean, at that time, it did what it was supposed to do. I've upgraded to cameras before, but ultimately, for the past how many years that I've been doing YouTube consistently, when I am doing YouTube consistently, over the past few years that I've been doing YouTube, I use my iPhone. That's what I'm recording on right now, is my iPhone. I'm recording on my iPhone. This is an iPhone 13 that I'm recording on. So all the videos on this channel, I believe, have all been recorded on my iPhone 13. All of them. All of them. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. All of them have been recorded on my iPhone 13. What I do love, however, this little new upgrade that I got going on is I have it connected to my MacBook. So it's nice to kind of get a reference to make sure I'm in the frame or not. So that is great. I really do appreciate that. However, with that being said, I'm not looking at myself right now. I have notes on my screen. So if you see me looking down a lot, I try to keep notes now. I never used to do that, but I try to keep notes now because trying to keep it all up here, it's a mess. It's a mess. So I just have notes to remind myself what I'm talking about, so I can try to stay on topic, because this girl right here, sometimes I be rambling. I have notes and I still ramble. So, okay. All right. So software I used to use, I don't have any specific software that I can remember using when I first started YouTube. Oh, actually, no. Did I have? Yes. Okay, pause. So I had a Windows computer when I first started doing YouTube. So I used to use, I believe it was a Windows Media Editor. Oh, geez. Yikes. It worked for what it needed to work for back then. I ain't gonna lie. But that's what I used to use. And then uh after that I went to having a MacBook, and then I was using iMovie, and then I got Final Cut Pro and I was using Final Cut Pro, and then after Final Cut Pro, my laptop crashed, so I wasn't using any editor and I wasn't filming on, well, I was still filming. I was using my cell phone. I think that's when I made the major switch to my cell phone, because I think before that I was using, yeah, before that I was using a camera. So then I switched to my cell phone, and then I used a few things on my cell phone. Actually, I was using iMovie on my cell phone, and then there's all these new softwares that came out, so I dabbled here and there. Oh Lord. Okay, so I've used Canva to edit videos, and currently I am using DaVinci Resolve, the free version, and I like it. It does what I need it to do. I don't know if I will ever upgrade to the full version, because right now the free version gives what it needs to give, so I love that. Choosing clips. Choosing clips. This is a part of recording and editing, is because you never know what you're gonna get. Again, refer to the video before this, Vlogmas Day 3. I was not sure what I was gonna get out of that Vlogmas Day 2 recording, but as I was editing it, I was like, okay, this is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm one of those editors, I like to watch the content, so that actually does take me a lot longer, because I like to watch the content and see what I have. I like to, because especially since I talk a lot in most of my videos, I want to make sure that what I'm saying makes sense. I want to make sure that it's flowing well. So I watch my content. Even for the B-roll stuff that I recorded, I actually watched through all of the B-roll. Did I use all of the B-roll? Absolutely not. But I watched it, which took me a long time, which maybe I shouldn't watch all of my B-roll, but I thought it was good, because there were parts way later in the B-roll that if I didn't watch it, I wouldn't have remembered that I recorded, and I wouldn't have been able to take those parts and put it into the video. So I like to watch all of my content to be able to decide what parts I'm going to use and choose the clips. So one of the best things you can do for your life, and I learned this yesterday. I did it yesterday for the first time. I just did it. And I'm glad I did do it. It's just as I filmed in different segments, I made sure that I was labeling all of my stuff. And now that I think about it, I think I learned that in high school for a video editing project or something. But basically, just make sure that you're editing. It's just kind of like when you are writing a document, you want to make sure that you're saving the document. Yeah, same type of vibe. So you just want to make sure you're saving the footage and you're labeling the footage. And what I did, I just labeled it in the order that I was filming it. So that way I could pull it all up and just see, okay, this was footage 1, footage 2, etc. I know some people save it based on like where they were, like maybe working on the computer 1 or the different shots and da da da. Yeah, no. I just say footage 1, footage 2, footage 3 and call it a day. Now, if there's a specific type of footage you're trying to capture, by all means, you can label it based on the shot and all of that. But like I said, I am not a professional editor. So to seek said advice, I highly recommend you seek counsel from a professional editor or videographer. They can help you out, and trust me, there are many here on this wonderful platform of YouTube, because I do not know the professional way to get it done. I just know the way I does it to get it done, right? Okay. So let's talk about audio real quick. So some of my videos, I used to be the queen of adding audio to my videos. I love having audio in my videos, but I created intros and outros, and sometimes I find that the audio might clash with the intros and outros. And the way that I have mine set up right now is just real quick and easy. I have the music attached to the intro and outro, so I just upload it. It's the same every time. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. Right now, I have considered removing the audio from my intro and my outro, but I like my audio on my intro and my outro, so I don't see myself doing that. Now with Vlogmas Day 2, I love the way I edited that, because it comes in and there's no audio, and then the intro pops up, and then after the intro there's some nice audio popping. Right now, yesterday's video for Vlogmas Day 3, I didn't add no audio at all. And there's a part where I played it back. I was like, oh shoot, I probably should have added some audio over there. But the thing is, and then I kind of wanted to add audio for emphasis on the parts where I'm not talking and the video's just playing. But then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do it without the audio, because I just liked the vibe of it without the audio. I couldn't find the right track that I felt would have went really, really well without it sounding weird or cloudy. So I opted for no audio. YouTube has an audio library that has free audio. Sometimes, depending on the track that you pick, you have to do Creative Commons attribution, and there's other ones that are completely free. You don't have to attribute nothing. You just take that audio and you throw that on your thing. Another place to get audio, Canva. If you have a paid Canva subscription, you can actually get audio from Canva. So that is another way to get audio. They do have royalty-free audio on Canva as well, but if you pay for Canva, you can get some of the premium audio included for free for your subscription. They just need to know your channel ID. There's like something that pops up that you have to do in order to make sure that they can attribute it to your channel, so you get permission to use that audio and your video doesn't get flagged. So I know a lot of people have been using, I believe it's Epidemic Sound on YouTube for a long time, and there are other similar type of places. I actually have a few other resources that I've not used in years that I still have access to that I can't remember the names of right now. And I mean, it is an AI world out here, and a lot of people are using AI music generators. Some allow you to use the music for free. Some of them you have to pay for, and there's attribution required and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of ways to get music for your YouTube video, but I just told you how I've been getting mine for a long time. So you have it there. And also, I don't know if people still do this. I know I've done this way back when I used to do YouTube, is I would use SoundCloud, because SoundCloud, a lot of times you could get free audio from there. You could probably get some probably from BandLab too, but again, you'd have to check with the creator, right? You want to be respecting the creators, you know, the creator's copyright and all of that. I know that I have gotten audio to use in my YouTube videos from SoundCloud before, and it was audio that I was allowed to use, so I have permission from the creators. And that's another thing, when you know people that are producers and things of that nature, some of them be letting you use their beats and stuff. So I had a friend that was a producer, and I would get a whole bunch of free beats to just use on my work because my friend was a producer. So, you know, I think even YouTube has some royalty-free channels that you can download the beats from. And I think, again, it's attribution for some. It'll tell you. Just make sure you're reading the fine print and you're making sure that you know if you got to pay for the audio or not, okay? Or attribute it or whatever. I just want to go ahead and wrap things up real quick and remind you of a few things. So these are the main takeaways I'm gonna need you to have before you leave this video, so you can make sure that you get this value, okay? You need to remember these things, okay? Maybe write it down. Number one, you do not have to be perfect to start your channel. You do not have to be perfect to start your channel. you're going to grow. As you are on this journey, you're going to grow. And even as you grow, you might make some mistakes. Especially if you're someone like me that's taken numerous breaks from YouTube, you might get back onto YouTube and then your words are not connecting, or it's late at night, you tired, you just rambling, or whatever. Whatever it is, you don't have to be perfect. And at the end of the day, who is perfect in this world? Who? Who's perfect, right? So it's really about getting on here and doing it because you genuinely want to do it, regardless of the reason. You know, some people do it because they're like, yo, I'm trying to secure this bag, I want to get that YouTube check. Okay, cool. Some people are on here because they just really want to create, and they want to share their stories and they want to share their experiences. Some people are on here because they're just hoping that they can help somebody. Some people are on here because they're really passionate about a topic or a niche or something, and they just want to tell the world about this thing that they're so passionate about. Sometimes for people, it's a challenge. Sometimes people just want to get better at something. They want to get better at public speaking. They want to get better at singing. They want to get better at whatever. Some people, they want to get discovered. They want to start creating music, and they want people to find their music, and they want, you know, there's a million reasons why you can start a YouTube channel, but more than likely, nobody that starts YouTube is perfect. We all got to start somewhere, right? That's number one. Number two, your first video won't look like your 10th video, won't look like your 50th video, won't look like your 100th video. Because why? Because of growth. Because looking back at my old videos, it's been a while since I've looked back at my old videos, but I'm sure that I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, this is such great quality. Matter of fact, I remember my very first YouTube video, I was singing a Christmas carol, and it did not go well. It did not go well for me. Okay. I think I did a reaction to it for last year's Vlogmas, and the sound was not doing what I needed to do, so you couldn't hear it. But I was like, yo, I can't believe I have this publicly viewable for people to still come and look at this publicly, because this is wild. This is wild. Now, although I've taken pauses and breaks in between, I was blown away by how my content turned out for Vlogmas Day 2. It was just a talking head video, but just the way I edited the video, and just, it was so simple, but I was just blown away, and I was very proud of myself for that growth, right? So the more you do it, the more practice you get. Your first video is not going to look nothing like your 10th, 50th, 100th, but you'll be able to see the growth, and you'll be able to see the progression, and that's what matters. It's the growth, it's the process, it's the journey that matters, because that's what builds you, and that's what life is really about at the end of the day. So this is sidebar to that, is that growth can only happen in hindsight. Like, you cannot experience growth on day one. You feel what I'm saying? It's not a thing. You got to wait. You got to endure. You've got to explore. You've got to move forward. You've got to go through a path to get to growth. You don't just wake up grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, that would life even be enjoyable if we didn't have to go through experiences? Would we even learn something if we didn't have to go through experiences? Like, that's the whole part of the human experience, my love. The whole part. The whole entire part. Okay? And this is a sidebar for me, especially, is I used to do this thing. Little side story before we jump into it. I used to do this thing. When I would create these new channels, it's almost like I was creating them hoping, I'm calling myself out right now, Lord have mercy. It's like I was creating it in hopes that I would come off more polished than before. Like, I would be more refined, or like, I would create this new channel, and it's like, I'd be like, okay, new channel. This is like my new identity, and I'm gonna just be 100 times better on this channel than I was before. It's false. It's false. It's false. It's false. It's false. It was false. Okay, it was just the progression of the growth. It's like I didn't want anyone to see me being a beginner, like, or I held myself to a certain type of standard, like, okay, I did YouTube for this long, so now I should be here. And then, and then I'm gonna do a new channel, I'm gonna be here. Nah, because 5 years later, I'm still looking back at that channel and those things because I'm a different person, and I'm still like, no, it really wasn't that good. So it's like trying to appear like, okay, I got it figured out, but like, the truth is, who got it figured out? Most of us don't got it figured out. Trust me, I've been around people that I thought, yo, your life is popping. You got that all figured out. False. False. Some people do in certain circumstances, in certain aspects. Like, for example, individuals typically that have had to work really hard for something, they figured out life to a certain extent. But there's other parts of their life that they haven't figured out. Like that part of the human experience, the human journey. Y'all didn't come here for this TED Talk, but I'm just saying it's just a part of it. So I said all of that to say that we've really got to stop looking at the earlier things that we've done as being embarrassing or cringe. I know it's hard because I never even used to think about things being cringe until literally 2 days ago, which was mind-boggling to me. But it's really truly evidence that we have shown up. When we look back at our older content, no matter how much more polished we want to be or how much better we think we should be, especially after we've been doing something for a period of time, we have this expectation that it should be perfection. We have to be realistic and we have to give ourselves grace. And the fact that you showed up and you created and you did something and you put something out there is amazing, because there's so many other people who want to, but who never will. Who never will. So it's really just evidence that you've shown up, and that's something to be 100% proud of. So if you missed day 3, definitely go ahead, check it out. See how I felt like something was super messy and somehow still ended up to create something that was nice, that was gorgeous in my perspective. And then the finished product is Vlogmas Day 2 if you want to take a pre on that. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to be doing Vlogmas. I'm excited that you're here. I thank you for being here. And this Vlogmas is stretching me, but I'm grateful. And I just can't wait to see what tomorrow has in store. And then we just gonna keep rocking this thing out all December. Okay? Until next time.